I really need everyone to spare me the faux outrage and the pearl clutching about this little collection of things that Donald Trump and high-ranking Republicans call liberals on a daily basis: anarchists, anti-American, deranged, communists, corrupt, compromised, groomers and perverts, thugs and traitors. Now, she was explicit that she was talking about a subsection of the Republican Party the same way that Joe Biden is when he talks about this MAGA extremism.
At some point, you know, maybe there needs to be a formal deprogramming of the cult members.
And Republicans still call us crazy things, even though we know they're projecting.
But you tell me, if the leader of the Democratic Party, so that would be Joe Biden, was facing 4 indictments with 91 felony counts, he had been found liable of sexually assaulting a woman and defaming her, that's E. Jean Carroll, guilty of fraud, sharing the nation's secrets, not only in the Mar-a-Lago indictment, but there was a report yesterday from ABC News that he had shared information about our nuclear submarine capacities with an Australian billionaire.
The investigation has revealed that Trump allegedly discussed potentially sensitive information about U.S. nuclear submarines with an Australian billionaire who was a member of former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago club in Florida. Those sources also telling us that that billionaire then shared the information with scores of others.
So all of that is happening, and he's shooting up in the polls. And when you see those interviews of Trump supporters outside of the rallies, they're like, none of this is true. It's the big lie. He won the election, et cetera. And you wouldn't say to me, you guys are in a cult? It's actually tame what Hillary Clinton was saying.
We are those people that do not believe or have never been manipulated by Trump. It's complete manipulation. Trump knew he lost the election. He said it right after the election.
If Trump were convicted of any of the things that he's been indicted for, is there anything that would disqualify him from your vote?
No, because, I mean, he ain't the first one. Look at Clinton, you know, look at Biden taking money from other countries.
But in fairness, none of them have been indicted. We've never had a president indicted. Now that he's been indicted, is there anything that makes you feel like, well, maybe he's not the right person?
No, sir. No, sir.
Is there anything you could imagine him doing that would disqualify him from your vote?
No, sir. Not right offhand. I want to think of right now.
We had somebody earlier tell us that if Trump was standing on the steps of the White House and murdered someone, he'd still vote for him. Same with you?
Mm-hmm.
How come?
I don't know. I like Trump. He just got something about him.
Is there anything that would disqualify him from your vote?
No, not at all. He hasn't done anything illegal. Let me put it to this way. This goes back to the Department of Justice being a political machine at this point and not a Department of Justice. What about Joe Biden and his documents? He was only a senator and then vice president. He didn't have any presidential authorization to take those documents and scatter them all over from Pennsylvania to Delaware. I mean, really. I don't know. I just think that, you know, if people can't see beyond this politicalization of the Justice Department, then I would say they suffer from Trump derangement syndrome.
There are people that think that you suffer from it.
Yeah, but they don't have an argument. They just don't like Trump. If you said, look, here's...
Say one nice thing about Joe Biden to me.
I can't.
Right, so you just don't like Biden.
Oh, because I've looked at Biden when he's just totally corrupt. How can you look beyond the corruption to say that this man could be a statesman representing the United States? You know, the whole issue of his getting the millions of dollars with Hunter Biden, the media didn't cover that at all. Why? Why didn't they cover that? You must have seen the so-called text message, right?
Tell me about it.
Hunter Biden sent to some authority in China.
Why do you believe that, but you don't believe the other stuff about Trump?
What other stuff?
Well, you're saying that so they say. You just said to me, so they say, when I asked you a question.
Yeah, because they never tell you Trump's side of the story. They, meaning the media, the major media, where people get their so-called authorized information from, you know, what's Trump's side of the story.
Is there anything that he could do to lose your support, Danny? Anything at all?
If he slept with my mom, that would probably be, I wouldn't be cool with him with that. But actually, now that I think about that, it'd actually be pretty cool. So actually, probably nothing. No, There's nothing you could do to me.
Oh boy, this guy wants Donald Trump to sleep with his mom, and I just threw up a little in my mouth thinking of it. Ugh. Wonder what else he has to say.
What's the biggest or the scariest thing that's happening in this country that no one's talking about right now?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I would say probably electric cars and holograms. That's f***ing scary shit. That's something we all got to be prepared for. And AI is f***ing scary, but it's not going anywhere. We got to learn how to live with it and learn how to deal with it.
Is that something that you think Donald Trump would embrace as something that he would find scary as well?
I think so. I think he would embrace it, and he'd also take care of it somehow. He's got a good business mindset.
Take care of it somehow? What does that even mean? See, that's the problem. That's how Donald Trump talks, and that's how his followers talk. I'm going to take care of something somehow. What are you taking care of? This guy's afraid of holograms. What does this even mean? I'm totally confused. And by the way, Trump is too busy taking care of his court cases, including the fraud one.
Okay, we've got major breaking news, a major loss in court for Donald Trump in the civil suit brought by the New York Attorney General Tish James. A New York state judge has just ruled that Donald Trump committed fraud by exaggerating the value of his assets in financial statements. This was a major plank of Tish James's case against Donald Trump. That case is set to go to trial on Monday. Donald Trump's attorneys had also asked to throw out the case, and the judge denied that request.
There you go. The guy who's guilty of committing fraud is going to take care of it somehow. Yeah, good luck to you, buddy. But that still doesn't stop this guy from supporting Donnie. Here you go.
So specific policies, what did you, like one specific policy that you liked that the former president implemented?
Well, I know when he was in office, he was taking care of the immigrants.
In what way?
Taking care of that problem. He was taking care of the problem, basically. He was shutting them out and deporting and building a wall. He was in the middle of a build, and then everything just collapsed. But we're gonna rebuild that wall, and then we're gonna pick up the broken pieces of where we left off. Is pretty much what the majority of what this whole thing is going to be in the next 4 years. And it's going to happen. We all know that's going to be a thing.
Oy vey, these people. What's this guy? So it all comes out. It's about let's get rid of the immigrants. Let's get rid of the immigrants without any numbers, any facts, no nothing. Donald Trump succeeded in lowering legal immigration into this country, but didn't slow down illegal immigration. As a matter of fact, it's gotten more because of his policies, making it harder to come in legally. Coming to the border as an asylum seeker is a legal way to come to America. So these people just put out stuff. They just hear mumbo jumbo. The Republicans talk about all the fentanyl, all the drugs coming across the border. Truth is, most of the drugs coming across to America are coming through actual legal borders. People are smuggling them in. Truth is, a lot of the crime, most of the crime being done in America is being done by American citizens. Statistically speaking, immigrants commit fewer crimes than American citizens. Truth is, the immigration system is broken, but Democrats have tried to fix it with some proposals, but they're constantly being stopped because Republicans know it is a great, great cultural war issue, which is what this guy was just talking about. This guy didn't even know what he's talking about. He goes, he stopped the immigrants from coming, he was going to build a wall. The wall don't work, okay? If you're trying to stop criminals from coming to America, drug dealers build tunnels and they get their drugs in. But currently, drug dealers are getting their drugs in through actual ports that aren't the border ports. So none of these guys are willing to look at anything beyond sound bites. So they hear the sound bites, that wall was going to stop everything, it was going to fix America. America was going to be much better without any immigrants coming in. America needs immigrants. You wouldn't have Silicon Valley if it weren't for immigrants. You wouldn't have anybody picking your fruits if it weren't for immigrants. We need immigrants to work the jobs that this dum-dum wouldn't take and couldn't take. He's too dumb to take them. It's this whole jingoistic mentality of stopping immigrants from coming in is so stupid, it's so clueless, and it's so cliche. I'm an immigrant. I was born in Iran. I came to America. I love America. I probably appreciate America more than this guy does. This guy thinks that the problem in America is immigrants. The problem in America is probably his lazy ass not wanting to go and educate himself to the point where he would see through the BS that Donald Trump is spewing at him, and he would be able to call Donald Trump on it. Earlier on in that earlier clip when he said that he's afraid of holograms and AI and electric cars. You're afraid of electric cars? What are you talking about? The rest of the world is building electric cars. Either we step up and we build them here and we compete, or we get left behind. And electric cars are the future. The future is coming, and that has nothing to do with Democrats, Republicans. It's the future. It's a worldwide thing. Artificial intelligence. Am I a fan of AI? I'm a stand-up comedian. I don't want AI doing jokes and taking over the whole stand-up comedy world. I'd much rather have artists writing and performing. But AI is here, and we can use it for a lot of good stuff. It could be used for bad stuff as well. Am I 100% on board with AI? No, but I know it's the future. You got to go with it. You know who's taking your job? It's not immigrants, you dum-dum. It's technology. All right? If you ever go to a parking lot, used to be there was a guy at the parking lot giving you a ticket, taking the ticket, taking payment. Now it's all automated, right? It's all automated. Think about it. It has nothing to do with Democrats or Republicans. Donald Trump does not care for you dum-dum, who's over there saying he's just going to take care of it somehow. He cares only for himself. You know what he almost took care of? Democracy. He almost got rid of democracy by orchestrating a coup on January 6th. Don't tell me it was the FBI orchestrating the coup. Donald Trump clearly was behind the coup, and we're seeing more and more of it come out. It's not a witch hunt. The guy's guilty. You might have conservative politics, but at least study those politics, know what you're saying, and don't just verbatim repeat what your circus trainer is throwing out at you. He's the worst person. He's the P.T. Barnum of the Republican Party, and it's a shame that guys like this have fallen for it.